Hello and welcome to the Illuminating Crossroads community. My name is Lisette and I am your guide, your friend here in this neck of the woods on the interwebs that is just here to support with channeling some messages, some guidance, and whatever it is that wants to come through today to support you for your highest and greatest good. So today I'm recording this on May 17th. We had Uranus Cazimi, so that just means Uranus and the sun were meeting in the sky, so they formed a beautiful conjunction, if you will, depending on how you see it and how you work with the energies. And I felt really called to do a collective reading. So this is going to be timeless, so when it finds you, it finds you. And I'll invite you to do a little bit of grounding for yourself, and so maybe taking a few deep breaths, and then you can grab a notebook, paper, pencil if you want to jot anything down that pings to you, and we'll just go ahead and dive on in. Alright, so we're going to start with the Starseed Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And this card, we're going to set the intention that this is going to be the foundation of our reading. So we're just seeing what is the main message that would like to come through for this reading, what energy is pouring into our collective at this time, maybe that we can work with this new, I guess we can say kind of new cycle, if you will, that we're preparing to step into. Okay. All right. So the card that came out is I Remember, Soul Plan, the Fated Life versus the Destiny Life. So I did already feel before I started the reading to actually read this card from the book. So I'm going to read it just so you can get the pure intention for how the creator of this oracle deck intended it to come through. And then we're going to pull some additional cards as well. But I will say, so before I even read, there's hopefully you can see it in the video, but there's this little star, this little heart here. I said little heart, that's funny. A star in the spot of her heart chakra, if you will. So this to me is really showing that this is a time where if you haven't already been initiated into sitting within your heart and opening up to this essence of remembrance of your unique spark, your unique essence that you carry, then this is something that is kind of being, how do I want to say, like an invitation is being given so you can sit and rest within this space. So let's read the card though. So this says, there was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of the life you're living right now. When you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life. We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it's because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you toward, and to remember that this moment was pre-arranged on your life's timeline. You may find yourself at a crossroads, at a moment when you're being called to make a decision to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you or choose the one less traveled. You may be facing a change of career, a new relationship, a difficult decision, or something else that requires courage and faith. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or her journey comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around it is through it. It's all part of the larger plan. And then the Starseed Soul Inquiry says, what are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? And I do feel called to say that the card description, the pages is 76 and then 77. All right, so this is a very, very potent card. So I really want to focus on that crossroads aspect. So here is really showing that, like, if you are feeling like you are at this how do I want to say, it almost feels like this liminal space, honestly, and it kind of feels like maybe you don't fully see the roads that are ahead, or like maybe there's a little bit of fog, and there is this invitation right now that I'm hearing, like it's not meant to be seen. So this is a time for you to really invite yourself to come back towards your body, to breathe into your heart, so then you can really ask, like, your whole being, like, which path is best for me, or maybe even asking, what is it that my soul is desiring to express today. So maybe that would be a really supportive practice to you at this time of, like, when you wake up in the morning, you can put your hands over your heart and take a few deep breaths as you feel called, and just really allowing your breath to move in and out of your heart, and then just taking a moment to ask, like, what is it that my soul desires to experience today? And I think it's really important. I'm kind of hearing, like, remembering that, like, sometimes it's not as, I don't want to say, like, I don't know if extravagant is a correct word, but it's just feeling like sometimes it's not as big as you may think it is. It could be something really simple. So really trusting, like, what comes up and what arises, because even if it is something so simple, so small, like, say you do the breathing, you connect with your heart and you ask, like, what does your soul want to experience? And maybe your soul's like, hey, I want to go to the ocean today, or like your beingness wants to go to the ocean today. And then you might be like, really? Like, the ocean? Like, or like, I don't have time to do that. But there is this invitation to be in this space of, like, okay, but what does it mean to actually choose what's coming to you and what you're feeling, and to step into deeper trust of allowing yourself to choose what you're being called to do at a deeper level, even though it may not seem as deep to you on the surface, or really, like, when you are really thinking from your mind. And it's because you're being asked at this time to honestly, like, not think with the mind. This is the time to go beyond the mind, and to kind of, like, infuse the energy of today with the Uranus Cazimi. Uranus is a planet that it can be seen in, like, an esoteric viewpoint of, like, this higher octave of Mercury. So it's, like, beyond this traditional logic or communication, and it's this higher level. So what does it mean to allow yourself to open up to that, so then you can actually swim in these new potentials, or I'm like, is potentialities a word? I don't know. But I'm just seeing, especially with all these lights here and these colors, and also all these stars, right? So it's almost like you never know where you're going to get inspired from or by, or also who is going to shine light on a situation or on something for you. And in order to invite some of these, I don't want to say these opportunities to actually choose a different way, or to make almost like a deeper, I don't want to say impact, but like a deeper, I'm almost thinking like if say if you're like carving something, I don't know why I'm getting this analogy, but if you're carving something and you just like barely scratch it, you can't really see it, right? But if you actually like dig into it, and then you're like peeling more off, and then now you're seeing something. There's more of an impact being made. And it's not necessarily like, yes, there is force to it, but it's also about like the intention of it is what I'm hearing. Like the intention is what creates the force, not you trying to force the things, because that's gonna create more resistance for yourself. So how can you be clear with the intention of listening to yourself, of trusting of where you're feeling called to go, to move to, and this, maybe it's like a physical move, but this could just be like of like how you want to move your body, or how you want to maybe speak a little bit differently to yourself, or interact with others a bit more differently. So just allowing yourself to kind of be open to that. And then I am seeing here, it kind of looks like a nest. So this is kind of making me think of like, maybe this is about really creating more of a sanctuary within your home. The nest is making me think of home, or even like family, or the spaces that you like receive nourishment. How can you make those spaces more of a little bit more intentional to invite you to be able to have more softness within your beingness, your existence, so you can come into this space of where you're communing more deeply with your soul, or with spirit, or with whomever guides or other beings that you work with. Okay. And then I'm gonna, okay. Cool. So we have We the Hawthors. I feel like that card has been coming up quite a bit lately. So it says deep love, mother's milk, and birth as a portal. And then we have your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So, okay, and then I looked at this one, so I'm going to just pull it out. Okay, so this one says Starkeeper, cosmic ancestor, see the light by staying grounded. So to just start off with We the Hawthors, this card is interesting enough. Talking about the nest, is that card is about deep nourishment. It's this deeper love of allowing yourself to be in this space of receiving, so that you can allow yourself to move through the portal of your heart, so you can give in this way that there's no hidden agenda, is what I'm hearing. So, and then with your life as a canvas, this is really giving energy of like, as maybe if you have been moving through, let's say if you've been stuck or stagnant in this crossroads for a while, right? Of like trying to get out of a situation, but it's never quite working, almost does, but then you're just like kind of back in the same crossroads. This is giving the reminder of, kind of like when it was talking about the fated life and the destiny life, this is giving the reminder of like having the courage and the faith, and really remembering this this whole life that you've lived so far, no matter how old you are, there is this beautiful, like, huge picture that you've created within your life. And yes, there are certain things that happen, especially the families that we're born into, the things that we inherit from our lineage, and then also just like collective things as well. But there is this, how do I want to say, there are many different moments as we continue to grow older where we reach these points of like initiations towards like, are we going to finally choose to heal these things? Are we going to finally invite ourselves to come back into our personal power, to remember that we have a say now, maybe even if we didn't before, or if you still don't really have a say, or you feel like you don't have a say, where is it that you do have, I don't want to say power, but like, where is it that you do have impact, right? If we think about that, like engraving something. So how can you allow yourself to also dream at this time, right? A lot of the times when we are feeling stuck or stagnant, or we don't know what's next, we can really get bogged down by the mind. And here, this is actually asking, which we kind of already like spoke to, but this is asking like, how can you tap back into maybe this dream like imagination, or this childlike essence, so then you can come back into this artistry of creating again, and allowing yourself to do so in a way that is playful, is curious, and is not like I don't want to say like biased, or like not heavily influenced there we go, not heavily influenced by the past things that have happened. Although yes, we learn from those things and we should use our discernment is important, but this is really showing like, how can you maybe reassess, like, are those, how do I want to say, are those things from the past actually supporting you with getting you towards new experiences that maybe you're craving, or are they just kind of keeping you bound? And if they are, this is like, okay, well, what kind of takes you out of that space? What do you do that allows you to feel really present in your body, that allows you to feel like you're being expressed? And also, like, maybe thinking, especially since it says creative accountability, I'm just thinking of it kind of literally. It's like, well, maybe like joining a community, or a space that allows for this like inner artist in whatever way uniquely is expressed for you to like be a part of that. So then you're surrounding yourself with people who, one, hopefully there's like this how do I want to say, these essences within this community that inspire you, that you admire, and then also like you're kind of holding yourself accountable to try these new things, to express yourself differently, to create your life more differently. And with the Star Keeper, especially because there are a lot of stars here, if this resonates for you, might not be for everyone, but this is especially just because it's talking about cosmic ancestors. Maybe you've been feeling pulled to a specific like star lineage, and if you have, or maybe if like synchronicities have been coming up, maybe this is an invitation for you to connect more deeply with those beings of light if they resonate with you. But in order to do that, it is really important to be sure that you're staying grounded in your body. And there's a little star in the little heart space here between the little archway, the doorway. So it's making me think of this card, and I remember. And this archway is actually really making me think of like, and of crossing a threshold or an initiation. So this is about completing something, like closing something out that honestly feels like it's kind of like it's stayed, it's overstayed. It's like, how do you say it? It's overstayed its welcome? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like it's like, okay, yeah, all of these things that maybe are weighing down in the mind, it's like they were supposed to check out of the hotel like 2 months ago, but they're still staying in the hotel and they haven't paid their fees and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But anyways, so this is just about like allowing for support from your cosmic ancestors, if you resonate with that, or even just thinking of your ancestors like from bloodline or from your earthly body as well, and really actually honoring as to the light that you carry, being the information or the wisdom, the knowledge that you hold, and what it is that you are wanting to share, that you have to share too. Okay, cool. So pull some cards from here. All right. And I don't want to make this too long. Okay, so we have here helpless and hopeless. Okay. And then okay, so I'll keep these. So I'm gonna put, I'm like, I don't know how I want to do these. And then I'm sorry if the screen got a little bit darker. Got cloudy again. Okay, so here we have helpless and hopeless. So this is the, I don't know why I'm blanking. It's the Eight of Swords, sorry. And then we have the sacral chakra. Then here we have simply love, the Six of Cups. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles here. So with all of these coming out, this is really showing, so this card is making me think of that like arc or that threshold that we were kind of talking about. And this is about really alchemizing that helplessness and that hopelessness into like that essence of faith. And also I feel like this is a message that came through before, so sorry if it's repetitive, but or maybe you haven't heard it yet, but of like not being afraid to like ask for help and support. So with the cosmic energies here and just lineage stuff, it's clearly coming through, like ask for support. And then allow yourself to be open and receptive to the support so it can come in. Because I'm hearing that like maybe you have been asking for support, but you haven't been allowing yourself to be open to actually receiving it. So the support that's wanting to come through hasn't been coming through for you. And then we have here the sacral chakra. So this is dealing with creativity, sexuality, sensuality, the emotional body, the water elemental. So this is really also making me feel like being clear with, which maybe I said before, but with the intention of what it is that you're wanting to create. And also what are the emotions that are driving that creation, because that's really, really important too, of thinking of just the manifestation component and your life being a canvas. Like, you want to make sure, like, I'm getting the analogy, like, it's kind of like when you do watercolor painting, you, like, you know, or I guess any type of painting, like, you clean your, maybe, I don't do all types of painting, so I just know watercolor a little bit, so I'm using that as the analogy. But when you paint with the watercolors, obviously you have to clean your brushes, but if you have dirty water and then you go to, like, do the, like, wet on wet technique, let's say, or what have you, and you, like, go on the canvas, but there's, like, this color already to the water, and maybe that water is just so murky, it's so dirty, right? So just thinking of that as your emotional body, and maybe you actually just need to use a new cup of water that is fresh, that is clear, that allows for this clear surface to where you can actually allow the colors to be a bit more vibrant, or to really actually be clear on the color that you're trying to put on the canvas. So really just tuning in, like, as you're maybe working on creating things, are you creating from a cup emotionally that it has been cleaned, that has been nourished, or is it murky and dirty? And if so, maybe doing that, like breathing into your heart, or doing a practice that allows you to come back into flow within your emotional body. And of course, that doesn't mean that, you know, that you're going to always be happy or highly elevated as you're creating things sometimes, but that component should be there, right? Because you want to infuse that into the canvas of your life, so that you can allow yourself to experience more of that joy and that pleasure as you're moving through your journey, your experience. And then over here with the Simply Love, so this being the Six of Cups here, it's also, like, making me think of, like, if there's any, like, relationship dynamics that have been asking to be healed within your life, maybe pouring a little bit more energy towards that. This could be, I don't know why I'm thinking of siblings, so older or younger sibling. I'm also thinking of inner child though as well. So, and I do see this notebook here, and there's this little light, so maybe allowing yourself to express some of your emotions through journaling, or through writing, through speaking it out, witnessing yourself if it's inner child work, or if it is with a sibling, then allowing yourself to like write out a letter or a note maybe, and to express your feelings and emotions, and then you can read it, and then if you want you can burn it as a little ritual or ceremony, just so you can allow yourself to kind of begin how do I want to say, to continue to support the process of bringing healing and balance and harmony to that relationship. And then here with the dedicated effort, I am seeing that, especially when we come back to the crossroads aspect and component, just thinking of dedicated effort. And funny, I didn't even notice that there was paint in here. There's brushes and the colors, so this is kind of just showing that it, like, there's a lot that goes into painting a canvas, right? And your whole life being a canvas, be sure to give yourself credit, right, of all the energy and effort that you have put in, and to also know that you're not, like, your hard work, your dedication, your effort is not going unseen, even though it might feel like it. So maybe like doing something special for yourself to really honor all that you have been doing, and to also maybe just reflect on, like, yes, of course there are things in our lives that make us feel helpless and hopeless, or where we have fear or doubt, or maybe there's just like, it just feels really heavy. But there's also, like, we're in this existence of polarity, so maybe allowing yourself to kind of tune into the opposite end of the spectrum. What are things that you've done lately that have brought you this deep essence of appreciation? What is it that you love about your life? What do you love about yourself? And how can you actually nourish that a bit more? And how can you see the beauty more in your life? So it's like deeply respecting this piece of art, of work, of your creation, of your co-creation, of your life. Yeah, that's sweet. So, yeah, I feel kind of complete. I'm just gonna pull a couple crystal cards. I'm not going to like interpret them or anything, but I'm just gonna pull a few. So if you do happen to work with crystals and you have these, maybe you can work with them to support you at this time, or you can just call on the crystal deva to be with you as you meditate, or whatever it may be in your personal practice. All right, so we have two here. So we have diapataz, heart healing, and then ruby, shine. Beautiful. So I hope that this reading was supportive to you along your journey. Please do let me know if it was down below in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Or like if anything pinged, if there was anything that you saw that maybe I didn't see. I will say these the sun, I don't know if that's a sun, but that orb and this orb are standing out to me for some reason. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, anyways. Yeah, I hope that you invite yourself to stay grounded at this time, to really be open to receiving support, and to really honor the beauty and the gift of your life in a way that maybe you haven't before. And yeah, I'm wishing you much abundance and love, and I hope that you allow yourself to be nourished in the day ahead, or the week ahead, the month ahead, the year ahead. All right, so thank you so much. Oh yes, and then if you're ever seeking some like more personal support along your journey, I do offer one-on-one sessions, be it readings or Reiki, sound healing, or astrology. And yeah, you can find all that info down below, and feel free to join the community if this message resonated with you, if you likes my vibes. And take care until next time, for real this time. Okay, bye.